Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You're a great crowd. Thank you so much. It used to be, I guess once you're out of office, you don't get introduced anymore, so I just kind of charge it. This used to be mine, by the way. Very surrealistic. I'm sitting down and looking at it and go, oh, yeah, that used to be mine. And I actually paid for it, not to stay. But you can have it, Suzette, because I'm so thankful that you are where you're at. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming out today. This is really a joyous day. A lot of you looking in the room, I know, helped a few years ago when we did the redistricting process. And through that, we were able to bring all of Santa Clarita Valley together so we could have one voice.
Yeah. Amen.
Which I think is important. And what's even more important is that voice is Suzette Valladares. For those of you who heard me before, you know that I always say Sacramento, common sense is not common, and right's wrong and wrong's right. And it takes a special kind of person to do the job, particularly when you're right-minded. I know in the early years, Vanessa would come up about once a month, and then after Washington, I can't come up there anymore because she kept biting a hole through her lip because she wanted to say something. So you have to have the right temperament and to be able to do that. And that's why I'm really pleased about Suzette. You know, we were able to serve together for a couple years. She has a great reputation up there. She's center right on her political philosophy, yet works very well with the other side of the aisle. Because when you're in the super minority, you have to have those relationships to be able to get things done for your district. So I'm glad you're all here. It's a great day to celebrate, and God bless, and I don't know what's happening next, so I'm just gonna step down. Oh, let me introduce you to my good friend and another retiree. I guess all the old guys are out here. Mr. Cameron Smith.
Scott, as you know, mayor is a lifetime title. You just call me listener. Quickly that goes away. It goes. I don't know. It is today. All right. No, thank you, and thanks for having the opportunity. It's the first time I've sat in those seats either at City Hall for the first time, so they're very comfortable. Appreciate that. But as the Senator Wilk said, we couldn't be more thankful to have Suzette stepping into the Senate. And I know it's been a long time since I've been in Sacramento, but I still travel there, and it is a very, very difficult place. Again, for someone who thinks logically and with common sense. But we couldn't be more fortunate to have Suzette, someone who's willing to make that sacrifice. When I served there, my children were young like Suzette's, and that is a serious impact. But the fact that she's willing to do that and to make that sacrifice for all of us tells you about her character and the type of person she is. So again, I'm thankful and appreciative to just be able to say a few words. Suzette and I were staffers long ago, coming up, and to have that experience from a staff to her time in the assembly. She's going to be a very effective legislator despite the challenges that you're going to have. And as the Senator said, those relationships are key. And for us to have a senator who has those relationships and is going to be able to affect change for the people of Santa Clarita and the state of California, we couldn't be more proud. So with that, I will, I believe, turn it over to Mayor Miranda, I believe, who will be administering the oath. Oh, you guys are sitting in these chairs too, right? They're different.
Cameron doesn't get to keep the title of mayor for life.
We'll talk. Okay. Please, Mayor Bill Miranda.
So I think it's rich when the former state senator who occupied that seat forever comes to this house, these chambers that are known as the Cameron Smythe chambers. That's how big he is. And the senator comes and, what do you say? He made this himself or something like that? I met Suzette going on 20 years ago when she was working for Buck McKeon, and we were just forming the Latino Chamber of Commerce. And Suzette took the bull by the horn, if you will, and she just helped in every way possible. She helped us get started, she helped us with the formation, with the organization, frankly, with some of the staffing. And without her, there never would have been a Latino Chamber. Without the Latino Chamber, I'm not sure we would have had quite the diversity and experience that we have today, not only with the Chamber, but throughout the community. So I'm very thankful for her. On a personal note, she's not only Latina, but she's part Puerto Rican. And it is more than an honor. It is more than an honor for me to swear you in. Please come forward. Where's Charlotte?
She's in school. She was sick this week, 2 days, so she couldn't miss another day of school.
Oh. I gotta get this back. Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
I, Suzette Valladares,
I, Suzette Valladares,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance
That I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California.
and the Constitution of the State of California.
That I take this obligation freely,
That I take this obligation freely,
without mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
without mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge
And that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Okay. Well, first of all, Senator Wilk, thank you so much for being here. You have been an influential leader and mentor for our community, and it's an honor to step into this role after you as your predecessor. And I am just hopeful that I'm going to be able to do half the amazing work that you are. So thankful to you. I also want to thank Pastor Cardi for coming out and opening us with prayer. Cameron Smythe, and the first time I met Cameron Smythe was actually on this dais like 25 years ago when I was a student at College of the Canyons, and the city had been giving us a certificate for our Model UN. We went to Harvard that year to compete, and it was a phenomenal experience. And what's amazing about the state senate right now is that I have actually staff. In the assembly, I had like 6 staff. In the Senate, I have 15 staff. So I have a comms director who wrote me an amazing speech that I just tossed out this morning. And it was really good, by the way, it was really good. But the reality is I just wanted to speak from my heart this morning because this is a community that is near and dear to me. Many of you know my story. Many of you share aspects of my story as they relate to yours. I was born in the San Fernando Valley, right over the hill. My first job was at Six Flags Magic Mountain. And I remember being a teenager, driving that, I think 4 exits from Sylmar, or it was 5 exits, from Sylmar to Magic Mountain, and being just so proud that I was 16 years old and I was working and I could pay for my own stuff now, and I loved that job. I was there for 8 years. And I remember my first, I'm getting a little emotional right now. I remember my first day in the State Assembly, and I took that same drive because the office is off Attorney Road and Magic Mountain Parkway for the State Assembly office. And I remember making that drive and thinking, wow, 20-something years ago, I made this drive. It was a long time ago. I made this drive and I exited left, to work at this amazing park, serving that does so much for the community. And now I'm making this right to represent this amazing park and this amazing community. And it was such an honor to serve our community in the State Assembly. You also remember when I was first sworn in Sacramento, it was in the middle of a pandemic. And I didn't get your traditional swearing in up there. We weren't on the assembly floor. We were in Golden One Theater, and we were at all our own little rounded tables, 6 feet apart. They had some amazing messages on the big screen from my family, but they weren't there with me. And it was at that time a really emotional experience to have such an amazing honor, but to not be able to have your family with you. So this time, I got that experience. My dad was on the floor, my husband, my daughter. It was also so amazing to have Charlotte on the floor with me. Because in the state Senate, for the first time in history, women reached parity. 50% of the California Senate is comprised of women. To have her witness that, to see that there are all these amazing women from all walks of life that are moms, that are mentors, that are teachers, that are educators, that are doctors, to see that they can do it and they represent our voice. I am so excited for the future of our community and the future of California. And I'll add this one additional component about being a mom serving in Sacramento. It is a sacrifice for my family. I remember when I was in the assembly, Charlotte was about 3.5, and I came home one day and she's coloring on the table and she's like, Mom, when I grow up, I'm gonna save the world so that you don't have to go to Sacramento anymore. And it broke my heart and also gave me assurance that I'm doing this for her. And poor little girl wants to be with her mommy, but she also thinks I'm saving the world. So darn it, I gotta save the world. This is who I am. I'm somebody who cares about children, who cares about our community, who cares about our future. I'm a real person. I'm a mom. I was a business owner, a wife, a community leader, and also happen to be elected by the best community and state senate district in all of California. And yet again, when I would be sworn into office back in December, and a month later, our community, Los Angeles, would face a devastating natural disaster. And the LA fires, we had 3 fires touch Senate District 23. The Hearst fire hit the open space area of the southern part of the district. We had the Lydia fire that when I was in Sacramento and I got that warning in Acton that my home was under evacuation warning. And then obviously the Hughes fire, and most devastatingly, the Palisades and the Eaton fire. And let me just tell you, we have known for years, for decades, that so many issues are at a crisis level in California. From affordability to insurance to wildfires to housing. We have been at crisis level on all of these issues. And they all converged just a few weeks ago with the Palisades fire. So more than ever, it is imperative that Sacramento get it right for our community. It's unfortunate that it takes celebrities, very wealthy individuals in Palisades homes burning down for not only California to see, for the US to see, but for the world to see that things have to change in California. We have to get back on the right track for my family and for yours, which is why I've gotten straight to work. I've rolled up my sleeves. We've introduced key pieces of legislation to make California affordable and livable again. I believe that I presented a bill that is going to increase the homeowner's exemption actually just adjust it for inflation. You know, we haven't adjusted that tax exemption since before I was born.
Wow.
We want to raise, my bill will also raise the renter's tax credit, simply adjusting it for inflation. I also believe, and I've introduced a bill, that our military veterans who are 100% disabled should not have to pay property taxes. These are things that we owe the hardworking people of California. And also in a bipartisan fashion, I've introduced a bipartisan bill that will say no more tax on tips. I was a bartender in my early years. We have lots of hardworking people in the service industry that earn that hard-earned money and deserve to keep more of it. There are things that we can do in California to put more money back in the pockets of hardworking people. And it's not just affordability, it's ensuring that every child gets a quality education and looking and demanding outcomes for all of our students, whether it's in K through 12 or in higher education. I have been so blessed and honored to be elected to represent your voice, the people's voice, California's voice. I will not let you down. I am so incredibly honored to be your state senator. Thank you for being here. Let's please make sure we finish out those refreshments in the back. There is coffee, I will need a cup. And then please stay after I would love to take photos with you and share. Please share them on social media. And lastly, remember, I am your voice. I work for you. I represent you. And if you I am your liaison between any state agency in Sacramento. If you are having any issues, please let my office know, let me know, and actually I'll do that before I say farewell here. I want to introduce my amazing staff. I don't have my contacts on, so I can't see you, so hopefully. My chief of staff, Brian Schroyer, is in the back here. We have Chris Huff, field representative. Am I missing anybody? Oh, Charles Navarro back here, he's our district director. And then in our Antelope Valley office, oh there you go, I can't see that far. Tom Moreno, field representative in Antelope Valley. Jack Danielson is also a field representative in the Antelope Valley. I can't see who else.
Chris Ward.
Oh, Chris Ward, right in front of me. Chris Ward is here. After your 40s, your vision goes apparently. I don't know what's going on here. I have an amazing staff that is as equally dedicated to serving our community as I am. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful weekend. God bless you, and thank you for your love and support.